Greetings and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you are doing well. I am guided by Spirit, and as a bonanza episode for the 200th episode on the channel, and once again, thank you very much for all those that have been watching, subscribing, and the members. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you. Alright then, trigger warning, the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. Disclaimer, all cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. So, kickstarting the bonanza episode, and thank you, I'm grateful, gratitude. So, with Joan Rivers, I'm going to do a 7-day profile. Now, it's reported that she had surgery or was in surgery August 28th, 2014, when there were complications. However, the 4th of September, in fact, let me just do that now, because I have a different theory. Something is off about these dates. September 4th, huh? And it was a 7-year, huh? 13-4, so there does speak about a death. 7, 22, 11, 2, 2. Okay, I'm going to let that simmer. That doesn't make sense to me at all, to be honest. We can agree, yes, there's a death number there. Body functions, 4. Can be the body. 11-2, 50-50 situation. I'm getting told to stay with the 7-day profile. That doesn't make sense for me. I would say, here's a coma number 30. Coma. Now, so let's come back to September 4, right? The reason why I started with August 28 is when I looked at the dates, the actual death date didn't make sense to me. So I went in and did a bit more research and then discovered she had actually gone in for an operation on this day. Now, when you look at this day, and let me just take this away so you can see clearly here. In fact, let's zoom in. This fantastic new tool. Let's just leave that there for now. So we have this 28-10-1 at the start of August 28. We have a hidden 36-9, but we have an outward 18-9. Now, and a stack of 7s, right? Let me just say, a stack of 7s might seem on the eye like a good situation. In other words, all neat and tidy in a row, but it's not a good thing because we have too many 7s. And too many numbers make issues. Now, my real concern is that we have an 18-9 in the middle here. Now, I will just say the complications that were said within the profile of her cause of death, or going into a coma and then as a result going on to life support and then dying. I don't buy that theory. So let's look at the build-up to the operation day. August 28th, operation day. So we go 72 hours ahead. So in the past, right? So August 25. So immediately we're seeing 777s. Something's out of kilter here. Something's wrong. Let's put it this way. We also have a hidden 33-6. There's tension in the air. The kind of tension you don't want, right? And look who's hiding in the corner. Well, in fact, it's not even hiding. 44. Males. Groupings of males. Now, this is what bothers me in these kind of crimes, right? Is we have someone that has passed, send off as made to look accidental or past, whatever the explanation was. I'm not buying it. When you start seeing similar characters, in other words, numbers at the crime scene, we know there's problems. 24, there's a plan in play. Now, because we see a 28-10-1 on the day of the operation, supposedly, I don't even think the operation took place. 28-10-1 plus we have a 26-8 on the 26th. So 26-8 is the kind of argument and fight where you say things that you will regret later. Recently popped up on the Steve Wright show, 26-8. Now, the reason why I say that is because in combination with 28-10, there's another big argument number here. And all these sevens are out of kilter. And this whole issue has impacted what? A community of people. A community of people. Who's this community of people? These Don motherfuckers. These higher ups. Think I'm joking? Look here. 37-10-1. Higher ups in the reflection zone. This is a reflection day if we look back to get information. Higher ups. So we got higher up number, a plan number. And unfortunately, we have a 27-9 on the scene. Premeditation. 33-6, premeditation. 22-4, premeditation numbers. So the 33-6, murder number. 22-4, the plan. hidden in the summary day. Reflection 44.8, another premeditation number, by design. Nothing happens by chance around these people. Not those people. Now, what do we have here? Mr. Sloppy Criminal. 26.8. Staging. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the staging event of Joan Rivers. My 2 cents worth is the hit went down here. As a result of the blowout, 25-7 beef amongst people, out of kilter 7. 7 speaks about the entertainment industry, 7. The Don Conleons, motherfuckers. 37-10-1, the higher ups, business people, transactional, big money, and a deal is a deal, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we have in the true reflection day? Because I believe this is actually the day, in my opinion. So let's take it on face value. August 28th is when things go down, right? So something, as we know the story, something goes down August 28th. So technically then August 31 then technically becomes the reflection day, the real one, but I've made it powder blue, like I did in the Corin Reed case. Powder blue cops there, huh? Powder blue cops there. So, and the reason why I say that is we have a 31-4 at the start of this day. I don't mean to be blunt or rude or anything, but the body's already cold on this day. Here we see that the body is still alive because there's an outburst. Big emotional outburst. Deal is a deal, transactional, collective, 3 people. Well, not taken on 3 people, but collective. And concludes with a hit. Now, whatever that hit form takes place in, we may believe the narrative that says she went into hospital here and she never recovered after the surgery, right? It's like that recent case now with the doctor and is it his wife or whoever, but she dies under his knife. That's a terrible tale of betrayal, that, for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so something for me is amiss here in this case. There's an the information just around here even, and we can say that it's 3 days later, it's off. And in this case, it's the motive or the reason is because 26-8, big mouth, big words, the wrong threats, the wrong words, 28-10-1, arguments with people that ultimately didn't want her to continue talking. Thank you, Paul, for suggesting the Joan Rivers case. If you could please email me here, and you will get your copy of True Crime and Numerology. And then to Cornelia, Thank you for suggesting Harold Holt. I would never have known about this case. So if you can please email me at PsychicMediumRoberto@gmail.com to get your copy. And I believe in Harold's case, we have a very interesting scenario. Now, because I'm doing so many cases in one episode as a 200 tribute to you as the viewers, I've just done a bit of pre-work. Now, when I was looking at this case, and of course, if you aren't aware, Harold Holt was the sitting Prime Minister at the time in Australia. And according to the, I would say, fake narrative, according to the narrative, him and some people, companions, were traveling back somewhere, and on December the 17th, he decided, let's go swim in the ocean. And on that day, and of course led to his disappearance, right? Now, according to reports, he was quite a very good swimmer. This was very normal for him. So the issue is, it did raise suspicion. Now, when I looked at these numbers, and I started doing research behind Harold, and of course the last year that he was in, or the year that he was in, but on the surface of it, and I haven't done a deep dive, there were a lot of political issues around him, and of course the pressure was mounting already from the beginning of the year, where there were some issues, and the main issue that got him, I believe, was the use of the VP jet by someone else. But anyway, long story short, he was in political turmoil. Now, it was actually by chance, let's say, but I was prompted to click on a link that I didn't even intend to, right? So part of his profile on Wikipedia, there's a theory by Anthony Gray that Harold was actually a spy for the Chinese government. So here is the Chinese government numbers. And on December the 17th, you can't get a more direct match than this. This is exactly the numbers of China. And the theory was, I haven't read Anthony's book, I only read a bit of a blurb in Wikipedia which says there was a theory that he swam out and met a submarine, a Chinese submarine. So for the crime sleuths out there, this is worthy of investigating further. As I said, I haven't read Anthony Gray's book, but what I read about him is he was also captured by the Chinese at some point, and he went on to write many books about his experience. So maybe he got some inside information, because he was captured by the Chinese in this period, round about here as well. And we know during the 60s, the world was rife with communism. In the States, it was a witch hunt, particularly in the Hollywood circles, right? So unfortunately, what I do see here is a direct match. Now, if we go to the summary day, and let me just change it up here, because obviously with politicians, they like to throw red herrings around. So let's have a look here. On the reflection day, do we see China? And we do see China in the zone, hidden, by the way, 32.5, which is the 5, and the 23.5, 23.5 China. Now, this is hidden, which means, ironically or sarcastically, we can say hidden under the water, right? So immediately we got this 14.5 in the middle of the reflection day, which says bullshit. So this whole thing was planned. So yes, we do see 22. So there is water, of course. There's eyewitnesses that saw him going to the water. And by the way, the trip to the beach, because they were heading for lunch, wasn't scheduled. He all of a sudden suggested, let's go have a swim. So 20 with an outcome 2 does speak to water, large masses of water. 14.5 can be a defection number. And the rationale behind that is 14.5 is a political number, actually. It's the attaché, it's the go-between, ironically. 14.5 is the attaché between someone who is a conduit, for example, between governments, organizations, however you want to look at it, in this case, politics. So, and also the outcome of the day is a 10-1, which also pings direct. That's a serious number. So an outcome 10-1 pings on the 10-1 of China, which is the month. Very clever, very clever. So, very interesting, Cornelia. So you see here, so we're going to go along this line here because this is where, so it happens during the day, which is this row of numbers. But what I find quite interesting is the hidden numbers. So let's just go here as well. I'm just trying to see when this would have taken place, where the big decision happened. It might be before this. So hidden 26.8 can be a sign of distress. And we'll note here, by the way, now that I'm remembering. So 26, you can't, so let's put it this way. When a 26 is ahead of the crime, whatever the crime is, it can't be a staging because the crime hasn't happened, right? But the 26.8 under normal circumstances speaks about a dispute, arguments, fighting. So this could start indicating that Harold was under some duress here. 27.9, not a good number. So here on December 16, we're seeing all these hidden arguments, fighting, transactional elements going on. In a way, probably negotiating with China, right? You can't get a more direct match than this, ladies and gentlemen. So here's 29.11.2, a deal's been made. So here's this hidden 20, outcome 2. So the plan, water. So the question I asked myself, what happened, and I'm sure you're asking as well, what happened to Harold when he got into the sub and into China? Okay. To be quite honest or fair, or to be fair, so in the real now, I'm looking at this in the real. So 2 days after the event, and I'm going to tag it with orange, and I believe I just got confirmation on that. So December 19 is not a good day in the real. Okay, so here we have a 31.4. That's a serious problematic number. Speaks about a body. There's still, even though he's gone. So what's going on here? There's something still going on, right? So we've monitoring Harold. Sorry, I lost his name there for a minute. So we're following Harold. There's still a hidden, this is a bad number, 31.4. So there's still a plan, but whose plan is hidden here? And then we start getting the hints of a death. Or let's say, if we have to think about it, new beginnings, right? So he's just defected, right? But when you have other numbers around, like the 19, 10, 1, 22, 4, 31, 4, already treacherous numbers. And when you get to these numbers here, this, I believe he may have been taken out within 48 hours of his defection by China. Because who would know? And I don't believe the Chinese in those days would have taken chances. Hey, Mr. Harold, come enjoy your free Chinese hut. Free rice for days. So in my opinion, I don't even think Harold would have set foot on Chinese soil. And he would have been sorted out somehow and tossed out to sea, as it were. And I'm just looking to see if I see any of those treacherous kind of numbers. Even it would have been within 24 hours. Look here. Let's zoom in here. This is treacherous. It makes a deal with the Chinese. Do you think the Chinese are going to take a chance? 35-8 is a very nasty number to the human body. And if you want to block your ears for 2 seconds, 2, 1, 0. This is like slice and dice, throw in the ocean number. Because this December 18 already has an 18-9. There's murder in the air. Oof, treacherous dealings, eh? Now, this then confirms why we have this 31-4, because then it says there's a corpse already on December the 19th. And when you have a preceding number like this number here, I may have mentioned this and I'll keep mentioning it. 35-8 is what you don't want to see as a first responder at a crime scene. What happens with the human body. And then we have this 31-4 the next day. And here we see all these treacherous murder numbers. So I don't believe Harold would have enjoyed his freedom under the Chinese umbrella, although may have defected with the Chinese, but the Chinese weren't going to take chances here. So regardless of what happened after theory, which for me looks very detrimental, we have a direct, this is, when you have a match like this, and I try to equate it to crime scenes, but to give you a sense, this is like finding DNA. Look at that, it's exact match. There's even the 11 twos. So Anthony Gray, who took a lot of flack apparently for writing the book, because of course that would be very not good for Australia. I mean, imagine that. Wow. All right, so let's move on to the next case that was presented or suggested by our dear Delight. Thank you very much. Wow. This is the case of Suzanne Joven. I beg your pardon. Our dear Delight, please send me an email and I will send you your copy of True Crime and Numerology. And all the numbers are explained in that book. All right, so Suzanne Joven was a senior student at Yale University. She was a German National at the university, and on an evening of December the 4th, within this time zone here, so nightfall, she is found discovered murdered, having been stabbed several times. Now, eyewitnesses and people she spoke to along the way say the crime may have happened between 9:30, 10:30. No need to quote me on the time. It is in text if you want to go search it, but we're going to go night into day to get our 24 cycle. Now, if I look at the sequence here, and this is a ghastly crime, I must say. So the first alarm bell is 5, right? So 5 is going to tell me there's human interference here. Of course. Foul play, of course. However, the 5 also says something else. The number 5 is a university number. 5 represents universities. Now, not only does it represent universities, it also represents racism. Okay. So this is what we're picking up in the crime scene. So the crime scene with the arrows. Do we have any direct matches with... Now, we're not saying everyone at Yale ran out and killed Suzanne. No. Someone associated with Yale, and I believe Yale themselves, because we will identify their numbers at the crime scene here, had a role to play in this murder, in my opinion. So we have the 27 nines, that's the year we're in, and we note that Yale has a 27-9. We have the 17-8 in the crime zone. So we have an 8 that matches the year of Yale. So it's the year of the murders. The barbarians behind pristine, paid-for education, right? And all their Illuminati bullshit happening in the background there as well. So to make a positive ID on what and who, we need to also identify the same numbers within the summary reflection day. And of course, the days in between the crime leading up to December 8 will be also reflection, a look back on what has transpired here, additional information. Now, because we're dealing with a night in today, these 2 here become our summary days. I shit you not. Alright, so yeah. So immediately a direct match, and we'll get into the other numbers, 19, 10, 1. Direct match. 27 nines, see the 8 here as well, 8. The 8 is very alarming in this case. And we know Yale's got 8 here. The 8, I believe, is a communication was sent down by higher ups, 37, 10, 1. To sort out this situation. Now, we have a hidden 22 here. So there's a emotional outburst that has occurred here, and not to the liking of the higher ups, I believe. Now, this has been a common theme lately, and it's quite hilarious when whistleblowers, people that speak out, like Boeing people, 10, 17, 24, 6. Now, what has gone down here? So it's always funny, and we saw this in the, this is what piqued my interest here. Let me quickly just get there was a young lady recently who was found deceased also at a prominent university that I covered. Also found deceased at a university. Also similar numbers in that we had the 5 race issues, university issues. If you don't follow the line, you're not with us. Bullshit. You know. So let's see what we have here. 51, 6. A 6 life path person. And a very creative person. Six. So she had a power number 33-6, eh? That's very good. Higher learning. See, yeah, so 20, so for your information, beg your pardon, the 9 is the higher learning number. So definitely great propensity for higher learning, people with 9s and people with 4s. Depends, 7s and 8s, depending what you want to go into, but this is higher learning. You see this 26-8, when I first saw her date of birth, I wonder if she may have said something. According to Wikipedia, she had just handed in a Osama bin Laden thesis scenario, and I wonder if that may have irked some people. And yeah, I'm getting confirmation again. I believe that information about the thesis or the reason may have been a red herring situation, but we'll put an asterisk on that for now. The big concern for me is 5, because that brings around race issues, her being German perhaps, and Yale University. Based on her personality, I would say can be vocal, maybe somewhat idealistic with the 1 and the 27-9. But by all accounts, she was very involved in the campus. She had a German club running. She may have just irked someone here. Let's see if we can pick up other. But I'm definitely picking involvement here without a doubt. Without a doubt. And it's a crying shame, man. So other numbers around the scene, 44-8, premeditation number. 27-9 in itself is a premeditation number. All right, I'm being reminded. Let's see what happened leading up to, and I've only done the 3 days. So let's go back. So the day before, look here. So on one hand, of course, the day before, there's an impact here on Suzanne. So let's see what that impact is, because this, when you have matching numbers like this, there's an impact here. So here's a male. There can be a male issue going on here. And in fact, this is the wrong kind of male number, actually. This is an older male situation, yeah. So, yeah, this is all impacting on her as well with the 27 nines, hey? This was a big day for her, yeah. And the 15-6 also pings on her. Let me see if we pick up something about this 15-6. So here's the 6 here. You know, and by all accounts, if you read how this went down, not very nice, very aggressive, very violent with these 6. So there's a lot of anger going around. There's definitely anger. I'm getting a hint of, could this be 15-6 old boys club number? Dirty old men, 15-6. I just received a bingo. 15-6 is a dirty old man number. We got the 6 here. You see that the outcome of the day when this murder takes place is a 7. So, of course, a death of innocence, a murder of innocence. A student was transactional. This 46-10-1 is not a very nice number here either. So it would appear that we've got these old men bullshit going on here. Higher ups going on here. This is not a random. There's too many hits here. And you know, like I said, with very violent crimes, first responders would prefer not to arrive at a scene like this. 35-8, very violent. Multiple stab wounds. So, of course, they would get someone to do their dirty work, which is the 16-7 character here. Call X because he always does this kind of work. Boop, 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 boop. Premeditation number here as well. This was premeditated. This was not a random attack. I don't believe this was a random person walking around the campus, and I believe, according to narrative, it was outside the perimeter, very convenient. Same that happened here, out of the perimeter. So therefore it can't be Yale, because Yale only commit murders within their territory, right? All right. Look at all of these 9s out of place here. There's chaos here. 9 is murder, sacrifice with the 6 as well. Year of the murders. too many hits. We can look at here at the university founding number, all lit up like a green Christmas tree. And unfortunately for Suzanne. See, here's issues here. 14.5 issues. There's group and community issues here. So 14.5 groups. The reason why I determined this way is because, okay, so 14.5 is a group. 32.5 is a grouping number as well, community. But it feels like there's an ending of sorts here, because 32.5 is the reversal of a group. 31.4, not very good. Someone was not happy about her. And definitely something to do. Older male. I almost wanted to say men there, actually. Issues. So they may have barked up the wrong tree, or Suzanne may have poked the dog. And the dogs they are. All right, so let's go on to the next case. And thank you to Leslie. You suggested the 3 children that went vanishing off a beach, I believe, in Australia. Please send me an email to my email address here, and I will send you your ebook. And thank you for sending the request. So, of course, this is quite a heartbreaking story here. So I've just prepared the days. And while preparing the days, I was picking up what was going on here, I believe. And the case is known colloquially as the Beaumont children case. So the day they go missing, January the 26th, all 3 go missing. So if we just look, for example, at the outcome of the day, we got a 49, 13, 4, 13, 4 speaks directly to children, 13, 4. This 27, 9 is not good. It brings around the element of premeditation. See, what bothers me, and I'm still trying to figure it out, the day before, we got a 26-8, we have a 33, these are all angry numbers, angry. And even the next morning, 26-8, angry. Oh my God, So when I pulled out the numbers, I did pick up, so let's just zoom out here a bit. Gosh, I hope this is not what I'm feeling right now. Let's just go back a bit here. So the 23rd, so we got 24-6 in the middle. We got family issues here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. Let's confirm. 24-6, so we got family situation. There's money problems, I believe. 10-1 money. Not only, so these are contributing numbers to the issue, right? So 28-10-1, there's arguments going on here. There's a family situation, arguments, and it's about money. Hard times 25/7. The only thing I know about this case is what I've told you. The kids went missing on this day. According to reports, they were at the beach and they went missing. Yeah, some unlawful activity here. If not, let's just say, if not illegal activity, it's in the air. There's a lot of uncertainty definitely in the air. This could even allude to a split or breakup of a couple. I don't know what the parent situation is here. Cold read. I'm only concerned about the kids. So 25/7. See, this issue's coming through again, which brings around another big argument. An outburst, female outburst. The morning they supposedly disappear at the beach, there's an argument. They wake up to arguments. Were there any eyewitnesses to anything here? I want to just check something here. I want to just see if there's any. So police investigations revealed that on the day of their disappearance, several witnesses had seen the three children on or near the beach in the company of a tall man with fairish light brown hair and a thin face. There was another confirmed sighting of the children at the Collie Reserve and at a cake shop, Wenzel's Cake Shop on Mosley Street. So they were actually seen on that day, huh? And I know there was, I had previously, when I was training, if you like, with cold cases, I know there were two known men in, I know this is going to sound generalized, but there's a well-known case of two potential male pedophiles. I forget the exact, what district, but in Australia. And I wonder if this was similar. I forget that guy's name. So initially when I put down the numbers, my concern is I did pick up kind of grouping situation here. But now that I'm looking at it, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say, eyewitness, now I will give you the eyewitness theory, and I'll give you what I'm seeing in the numbers here. It is known in terms of policing that although eyewitnesses are important, they're never considered as 100% accurate because, for example, if a bus driver sees a kid getting off a bus every day, and when gets questioned about a year later, yes, she got off the bus. You know what I mean? So I'm going according to these numbers, and what I'm seeing here is there's a family in distress, in my opinion. This 27/9 in the day here, that for me is problematic. And we do have a 31/4 outcome here at the end of the day. So let's just go on. Let's see what else we pick up before I make a final assessment. So we have this 27/9 in play, 28/10/1, all these arguments. This is the number here that bothers me the most. 55, 50 with an outcome 5 speaks about organized crime syndicates, groupings, gangs, 14.5, and very destructive, of course. 32.5, the very destructive. So if we look, I'm just going to go to the reflection day here. This is a transactional element here. Transaction between people. There's a 33 big outburst here. So we can also say that this 33 can speak to female groupings, but these are children. And the 30 speaks more about an older, adult, loud female outburst. And that 33 is actually reflected here the day before of the event as well. And 12.3 here is about the homemaker, the home, family numbers. Something's gone down in this house here, I'm afraid. This is what I'm getting. And to confirm it, so if we're going on the theory of, if I'm going on the theory of a family situation, 34.7 confirms that. 34.7 is what we see at close contact, known, family, spousal, union, murders. 4 speaks about family. Three is like the home, the community. So according to me, and what I'm seeing here, unfortunately, pinging, this was an internal family situation. I've gone back to Wikipedia quickly. I lived with their parents, a former serviceman and taxi driver, husband. On the morning, so the children, according to the narrative, is the children asked their mother to visit the beach. They took a 5-minute, 3-kilometer bus journey, so in miles probably more or less than a mile, maybe even a mile at the most. Don't quote me on my metric system. Journey, so there's a bus journey from their home to the beach. So the children asked to catch the bus because it was too hot to walk. The children caught the bus at 8:45 a.m. and were expected to return home at 12. These young kids are doing their own thing. I guess the time was different, 60s. So the mother becomes worried at around 12 to 2 because, and then Jim also arrived home early that day, and obviously they started getting concerned. So the parents remained at the house, hoping that the children would return. So the couple later divorced and lived separately. They eventually sold the home. So the mom has passed, huh? And the father. Something's not adding up here. So let me just say, okay, let me just confirm that it wasn't because we do, this 50-year bugs me. What concerns me here, what's anomalous for me, like if I'm following the trail of the pedo groups or being abducted, kidnapped, it doesn't complete itself. Do you know what I mean? It's like following a lead and then it comes to a dead end. So what's bothering me is the collection of the following numbers. So when this, now in the real, there would be a lot of chatter, a lot of, where are these kids, chaos, right? But if I look back from a reflection point of view, in garnering information about what happened here, for me, there's too many outburst numbers, arguments, fighting numbers. These are big arguments. And 29, 11, 2, and they're on all in the reflection zone here. This for me is when the decision is made to do what we know of the case today. People made a decision. And there is strong evidence of a dominant female around you as well. And when you have numbers like a 7, speaks about servicemen. (34:7), this is a family matter. (33:6). So this, when I see, now immediately in my head it said, look what happened at the beginning, because there's obviously issues. And I've pointed out these issues. So family. There appears to be money issues here as well. Conflict. Something has gone wrong. Something went wrong in this family, I believe. Something went wrong. Financially caused an issue. But as a result of that, caused this big outburst here. I mean, the morning is you're waking up to people fighting. I've just had an image of a couple fighting and hearing them fighting, like screaming match, you know. Something went very wrong here. So I've just been given an image, and I'm taking this case seriously because we're dealing with children. An image of, if you recall the movie Inception, and the reason why he couldn't go back home. Oh, I beg your pardon, not that movie, Shutter Island. Beg your pardon, Shutter Island. Leonardo DiCaprio has gone within his shell because of a tremendous crime that when he returns home after work, he finds his children face down in the dam or in the lake in the movie. And what do you do as a husband when that happens? When reputation is at stake, society. Here's a massive outburst here. That's a massive outburst. Something went horribly wrong here. So if I still look for abduction, groups, there's hints of it. There's issues around this time, but these outcomes are telling me interpersonal connection, particularly with the 34/7. I don't believe there was a good outcome here, and within the walls of the home, unfortunately. That's my opinion. See, the problem for me is the build-up. And also after, I'm seeing the wrong numbers here. So in other words, what's telling me here is the narrative as we know it doesn't fit this timeline. Timeline as well as events that took place. No, I don't believe this was an abduction case. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it here. But I find this case very suspicious. And maybe the real perpetrators were undetected. And there's certainly a lot of interpersonal arguments and fighting going on here before and after the case, or after the event day. Not the kind of behavior you want to see. Whew. These poor kids. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for participating in the 200th show, and those that I've mentioned in the show, please send me your emails. I will definitely send you a copy. And thank you for everyone for participating on the channel, engaging in the community. There's a lovely community here, and let's please stay safe, stay alert, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.